Hi, Anna. Here is your paper here, and I wanted to go over some things with you. I said this is a big concern of mine. It started out this way, even though it has to do with the end of your paper. You have no sources to support your claims in your paper. That's what the sources in your works cited are for. It should be is are for. You use those as in-text citation. Okay, I need to go back because I made a mistake there. Okay. I've been, except for going to a class this morning at a swimming pool, I've been grading papers. So or not grading, but going over them. So my brain's a little strained right now. But this all looks good up here. Health care for all, that's good. All right, let's go to the end. Because first of all, just looking at it, it's not incorrect format, but none of these sources has a corresponding in-text citation up here. And remember, you've got to use these guys to back you up to say, yeah, what Anna said is correct. This is what we think. You know, they don't really say that, but they back you up. But another thing I wanted you to look at is when you are doing your in-text citation, well, actually, I'm not going to do the title. This looks like you left out a name. Do you see the commas and all that before it? So I'm not really sure what happened there. I can tell you did leave out a name because the first name will be the last name first, the first name last, and then the contributing authors, you do the first and the last name. So I know you did lose somebody there. Okay, so if I want to go back and I want to make this right, by the way, on the whole paper, make sure that you click on this. And I got to this. Let me show you. You go right click. Well, you can do it several ways, but right click paragraph. Okay, so I want to make sure that I did not, and I'm going to have to click OK on that. If I don't, it doesn't stay that way. I'm going to go to hanging. Okay, then I'm going to do that. Well, I didn't want to do that. Hold on a minute. I don't need to do that. See if I can resume this real quick.
Maybe also to do this on some of them. What is one team doing consistently that's working for them and what's not working for them?
Nope.
Take a look. Here, they continue tonight. The same thing up is now taking on the forward down one to Miles Jr. Watch it there with the 7-3 for 10-9. For 10-2 after this one. Tonight, folks. Tyler with 30-39 to 120 to 116. Yeah.
Okay, so what you would do, I'm sorry, I had to re-record this. This does not, yeah, it does. Okay, there it goes. Okay, that's all the right that's the left margin. You would have to put that person's name in there. And then it looks like your tabs are off on here. Okay, I'm gonna put that, all of these should be at 0 over here. And it should be at 0.5. So it is. So that's cool. So let's move this bugger over here. Wait. Yeah, because the margins are off. Do you see where the gray and the white meet? That is where the margin is. So now let me try to do this again. I think you put some indentation in there, so that might be why it's not behaving. Let's go to hanging and let's go to okay. Yeah, it's not behaving. Okay, but what should happen? Okay, yeah. What should happen is this should be over here. And this should be hanging. So you're gonna have to, yeah, you're just gonna have to redo that whole thing. Okay. Because if I was trying to think, if I do this down here, copy, spending too much time on this, it's almost getting time for bed. Let me try just doing this one and see if it'll do the, okay, so left body, that, okay, double, hanging, everything's at 0. We don't want to add space between there. Okay, but for some reason, this little guy wants to get over here. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. You may have to retype the whole thing. But that's not what it's supposed to look like. Okay. And plus you've got problems because some of those actually don't have in-text citations, so I don't know why they're on there. Okay, so this one right here, I talked about the hook. Here's a quote, because you are talking about healthcare. So I just looked around. It says disease, sickness, and old age touch every family. Tragedy doesn't ask who you voted for. Healthcare is a basic human right. And I said those are the words of senior senator from Massachusetts, a former presidential candidate, Elizabeth Warren. And I actually talk about her too, because she's one of them who's for the United Healthcare. Okay, so what does this say? The thesis does not contain the word should in it, but it should. Also, your 3 supporting points are not clear. So I don't know. I'm thinking that you're thinking that we should have that healthcare, but I don't know why. I don't know what your 3 reasons are that you're going to talk about. This one, as the way it is, it's actually a run-on sentence, so you need to go back and redo that. I found another way of saying this here. And I don't think you've got any quotations at all. You've got to have sources in here to back you up, because if it's like this, you won't pass. Because part of it is research and finding people who agree and disagree with you. So you're going to have quite a bit of work to do between now and Sunday. Okay, so then, and if there's a partner or somebody you can work with, that would be great. Okay, do not use first person. So you got we all here. Where's this we? I sent out that tape tonight, that video. Hopefully you watched it. We're going to watch it in class tomorrow before we begin spiffing up everything that we're doing on our papers. So just take out all of that first person stuff and second person. So I said here, if your first main point is sky high costs, and your second point is that it's a basic right provided for the Declaration of Independence. And I'm saying if, I don't know if those are your first main points. You might consider this as the topic sentence with transition of your second main point. So beside the exorbitant cost, so this would be at the top of your 3rd paragraph. Second main point, beside the exorbitant cost of healthcare in the U.S., one would think, like Senator Warren, which I mentioned at the very beginning, that it is a basic right provided by the Declaration of Independence. I think it's actually the Constitution, but check that out. Make sure that you're giving accurate information. Okay, here, the 3rd main point goes after the okay, yeah, you got those out of order. The counter argument does not ever go last. It goes before. So this is the way it goes. Your introduction is your first one. Your second paragraph is your first main point. Your third paragraph is your second main point. Your fourth paragraph here is your counter argument. Your fifth paragraph is your third and strongest main point, and then your conclusion. So you're going to have to, this is out of order. You don't ever want to end with your counter argument because that waters down your whole argument for having health care, because your reader will remember the last thing that they read was that it was, there are too many reasons that we shouldn't have it. So you don't want to do that. So those are some problems that I'm seeing here. There was something, you said something about, let me see what it is. Yeah, it's intersectional issue. You need to explain that. I have no idea what that is. Okay, so you really need to work on having your in-text citations here and make sure for every in-text citation, there is a source here. And for every source here, there's an in-text, at least one in-text citation here. See you tomorrow.